Hi, good morning. This is Trina here to discuss about corrosion. And in my personal information, I have given my mobile number and email ID. So if you have any doubt regarding the corrosion, so you can communicate here. And the most important part, the course page is given here. So first of all, you have to join with the code, that is the DMBC. Then you can access all the study material. So not only study materials are uploaded, all the possible questions and the solved problems, semester questions, all these things are uploaded here. So the subject name is chemistry, and this subject code is CH101 for odd semester and CH201 for even semester. This course is for BTech undergraduate students, and the streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical for even semester, Electrical, EC, BME for odd semester. And the credits 3, contact hours 35. So I will take 3 lectures per week. And the prerequisite knowledge required to understand this corrosion is 12 standard. And about the course objective, the students will able to learn the different concepts of chemistry. And what is the course outcome? So students will able to apply the knowledge for corrosion control in different industries. And this is the lecture plan. So each lecture will cover which topics are given in this table. So the corrosion, that is the module 4. So here you can see in the module 4, this is highlighted, types of corrosion and dry corrosion. So today you will learn the types of corrosion, the first lecture of the corrosion, types of corrosion and dry corrosion. This is the module 4. And the students will be able to apply the knowledge of corrosion to control corrosion in different industries. And the reference books also given here. So I'd like to ask you that you have any knowledge, any idea about the corrosion? What you think? What is corrosion? Okay, so look at this picture. Look at this figure. What is it? Can you tell that which material is it? And which is this green part? That is basically copper. And this green part is the compound of copper, like copper carbonate. And that is called the corrosion. So the copper pipe corrosion, that is the copper pipe corrosion. When copper is exposed to air for a longer time, then copper reacts with carbon dioxide and water of air to form a green coating of basic copper carbonate on the surface of the object. The formation of this green coating on the surface of a copper object corrodes the copper material, because the copper material basically corroded because it is converted into the other compounds or other materials. So green coating of basic copper carbonate is a mixture of copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. So now let's see the reaction, how it is formed. So in case of rusting of copper, the metallic copper reacts with oxygen, carbon dioxide, and atmospheric moisture and develops a green colored coating of copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. So in this reaction, you can see that copper plus H2O plus CO2 plus O2, we get copper hydroxide and copper carbonate. And in this given figure, also you can see the green coating on the copper materials. Let's see another example. It is also a very common example. You have seen the tarnishing of silver. So in case of tarnishing of silver articles, the metallic silver reacts with hydrogen sulfide or sulfur present in air and gets tarnished. So here you can see the first figure shows the polished silver and the second figure shows the tarnished silver. And what is the reaction? It is the polished silver. It is very shining, but tarnished silver, the color is very dull color. And the reaction 4Ag plus 2H2S plus O2, we get 2Ag2S plus 2H2O. So silver corrodes slowly due to the presence of H2S in the air. Silver first gets oxidized to silver oxides, that is Ag2O, and Ag2O is black in color. Again, it reacts with H2S to form silver sulfides, which is again black. But we may get different colors like yellow, red, blue before turning to final black color. So now let's see the reaction part that you have seen, that is the silver plus H2S plus O, we get Ag2S plus H2O2. So partly the stepwise reactions are given here, that is silver plus oxygen, first we get Ag2O, then Ag2O plus H2S, we are getting Ag2S plus H2O. Next example, that is the most common example. This one is the rusting of iron. So here you can see that in case of rusting of iron, the iron reacts with the oxygen present in the air and moisture and develops rust, the hydrated iron oxide. Okay, so let's see the figure. So first you can see this one is the iron, then O2, this is iron, oxygen, H2O, and we are getting the rusting of iron. That is the most common example. And here you are getting the reaction, that is iron plus O2 plus water. We are getting 2Fe2O3 dot H2O, that is the rust. Now, how it damages different materials? Like corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings, ships, and to all objects made of metals, especially those of iron. So here you have seen that very common thing in our daily life. We have seen that if we bought newly iron, silver or copper articles, so initially it appears very shiny, but with the time they become dull. So this is due to, why it occurs? This is due to a layer of metal oxide that develop on their surface. Like rusting of iron, we get 2Fe2O3 dot H2O, so that is the oxide of iron. If like say we take the silver, so it is formed that Ag2S. Okay, if we take the copper metal, then which compound is formed? That is the copper hydroxide, CuOH whole 2, and copper carbonate, CuCO3. So due to the formation of different compounds of the metal surface becomes dull in color. So this is the corrosion. So I hope that you have seen you can tell the different examples of corrosion. So if I like to define this corrosion, what you will say? The continuous deterioration of metal from its surface due to unwanted chemical or electrochemical interaction of metals with the environment. That is called corrosion. So you have got lots of examples like rusting of iron, silver, tarnishing of silver, okay, rusting of copper. So all these examples you can give it. So you have learned what is corrosion, definition of corrosion, and the different examples of corrosion. So what is the effect of corrosion? What you think, that is very good or bad? Of course, it is very bad because the properties of the material become changed. That means actual strength of the metal will be damaged. So what are the effects? Damage to commercial, first you see here, damage to commercial airplanes that could result in possible in-flight problems. Second, damage to oil pipeline that could cause a costly and dangerous rupture that creates significant environmental damage. Number 3, damage to bridge support that could cause a bridge failure. It is so dangerous. Number 4, release of harmful pollutants from iron corrosion that contaminates the air. Number 5, the cost of repairing or replacing household equipment that fails. So you have seen after few days, which is already the corroded, that basically broken. So there are the failure in the equipment or the bridges or all other parts, like we use the metal. So this is the bad effects of corrosion. So the corrosion basically affects economically. And the danger of the corrosion, how we can say, that means you know that when, say, as for example, there is a failure of bridge. So there is different people, like the common people and the workers may be injured. So what are the dangers of corrosion? We can say that high risk of employee injury or injury to the general public. Second thing, loss of industrial equipment's time availability. Number 3, when appearance is affected, corrosion can reduce the overall value of a building or location. Number 4, pipe blockages or mechanical damage to pumps, valves, etc. Number 5, damage to surroundings or danger to individuals because of leaking gases or liquids. So you can understand that what is the bad effect of corrosion. So it basically damages the metals, and where we use these metals, so there is the problem occurs. So it is related to safety, because you know the corrosion of bridges, the parking structure, building, electrical towers, highways, everywhere we basically use the metal. So if the metal corroded, so its property is lost, so there will be the breakage or failure. So it is very dangerous for us. So it may cause the life of the people, and also the economical part is also there, because there is the damage in the bridges. So we have to take the repairment cost, huge amount of repairment cost. So you have learned the corrosion of metal, and corrosion of metal depends on different factors like the presence of oxygen, presence of chloride, presence of sulfide, and the temperature, pH value. So if the medium is acidic, so the rate of corrosion increases or decreases. If the temperature increases, then the rate of corrosion increases or decreases. That does matter. And the corrosion of metals, like say the oxygen, chloride, sulfide. So if these elements are present, these gases are present in our environment, then corrosion will take place. Because you have seen the already you have seen like rusting of coal, rusting of iron, rusting of copper, and the tarnishing of silver. All these due to either sulfide, H2S, or oxygen. And also the silver may get corroded with the chlorine, like silver chloride or AgCl4, all these things. All these products can be formed. So generally we can take some anti-corrosion strategies like the selection of appropriate material, the design of product, protective methods like coatings, anodes, etc., correct installation and maintenance, research, development, and testing. So now, one important questions come into our mind, that why do metal corrode? Okay, so we are telling that corrosion, but why the metal is corroded? So apart, what is our observation? Apart from gold, platinum, and few other metal do not occur in the nature in their pure form. So you know that we call the gold, platinum as the noble material, but the other materials are corroded or make compound with another gases. So they are not called the noble material. So they are normally chemically bound to other substances in ores, such as sulfides, oxides, etc. So basically, when we extract the minerals, so we get either in the sulfide form or in the oxide form. But only the platinum, gold, these materials we get as their pure form. So why it happens? Because of the energy differences. All the materials like to stay in their minimum energy level. So in this picture, you can see, first we are getting the ore. So here it remains as oxides, sulfides, etc. Now we make the pure material by metallurgical process. So we have to provide energy. So here it comes into the higher energy level. Then different different materials are formed, different products are formed. After that, when it comes into the contact of environment, like say water, air, or other gases, then corrosion takes place. So the products of corrosion, we get oxides of sulfide. It is at the lower energy level. So basically, when we extract the ores and convert into any metal, this remains at higher energy level. So always it has the tendency to combine with another gases to get the lower energy level. So basically the pure metal, pure iron, pure zinc, pure aluminium, this is thermodynamically unstable. Ore is thermodynamically stable, but this material is thermodynamically unstable. Now, it has a tendency to become thermodynamically stable. So that is why the metal will react with the chlorine or sulfide or oxygen to become thermodynamically stable. That is why when the metal exposed to the environment, it becomes corroded. So this is the reason why the metal are corroded. So here you can see the different energy level also given for different materials. So here you can see the different metal like aluminium, magnesium, chromium, sodium, iron. So energy level of these metals are given here. So always it like to stay in the lower energy level. Like the people we want to stay that without working idly, like this, the metal also like to stay in the lower energy level. Now, another important part that is called galvanic series. From this series, we can understand that which metal is more susceptible to corrosion, that means corrosion prone, and which material is not susceptible to the corrosion. So it is a tabulation of relative strength of the tendency is called a galvanic series. So here you can see the above the different metals are given, like say first what is given, that is magnesium and its alloy, zinc and its alloy, aluminium alloy, cadmium, mild steel, cast iron, stainless steel. So lots of lead, tin, and here it is written the most susceptible to the corrosive attack. So these materials are highly corrosion prone. Okay, but you know that which are the noble material I have told earlier that the gold, platinum, these are the noble material. So let's see at the lower part of this list. So here you can see the gradually we are getting like the silver, gold, platinum at the last. Silver, gold, platinum, they are the noble material. They are least susceptible to the corrosive attack. They are more noble. So from this chart, we can understand that which material are susceptible to the corrosive attack and which material is not. So it is very important to make any materials, any place like the model car or bridges, otherwise we cannot make. But although this is the we cannot make with the noble material, it is highly costly. So you have understood that what is corrosion, why do metal corrode, that is very important, and how we can determine from the galvanic series which one is more susceptible to the corrosion, which is less susceptible to the corrosion. That means tendency of the corrosion of the metal. So here are different examples like the common ore mineral, that is malachite. So you have seen the how it is corroded. It is completely greenish. If it is exposed to the humid environment, it will get corroded. Next, it is very common. You have seen the corroded brush plate in your home also. Very old utensils, we use this. Next, example, that is the corroded ashtray with a typical rust color. So these are the examples. Now, what are the types of corrosion? There are two types: dry corrosion or chemical corrosion. Second is wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. Okay, first one, what you got in this figure, dry corrosion or chemical corrosion. Second part is wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. So here in the picture also you can see that what is the dry corrosion example given and the wet corrosion example also given. So dry corrosion, the tarnishing of silver, that is the dry corrosion. The example of wet corrosion, that is the rusting of iron. Basically, if there is the presence of water, that is the wet corrosion. If the environment is dry, that is the dry corrosion. So here the dry corrosion occurs due to the air if it contains like different gases like sulfide, chloride, oxygen, etc. And wet corrosion, there must be presence of water. So rusting of iron, it requires the water and the presence of oxygen. Now, how the dry corrosion occurs? So what you understand that in the presence of atmosphere, different gases, like say it may be oxygen, halogen, oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, hydrogen sulfides, and lots of different gases like fumes of chemical with the metal. So due to the presence of all gases, the dry corrosion takes place. And oxygen is mainly responsible for the corrosion of most metallic substances when compared to other gases and chemicals. So dry corrosion occurs when there is no moisture. But wet corrosion takes place in presence of moisture. So here look at this mechanism, that is the mechanism of the dry corrosion. So how it takes place? First, you can see the metal. Metal is converted into Mn. M is represented, metal is represented by M. It becomes M plus ion, the cation, M plus N, and it releases the electron. And for the oxygen, oxygen becomes negatively charged. It takes the electron and it becomes negatively charged. O2 minus 2. O minus 2. Now, this positively charged metal and the negatively charged oxygen combine together and we get the metal oxide, that is our product, M2ON. So this is the mechanism of dry corrosion. And electrochemical corrosion or wet corrosion, I have told you that requires the water and oxygen. So most common example is the rusting of iron. So here you can see there will be two parts. One is cathodic part, another is anodic part. So here in the cathode, we get the reaction that O2 plus 2H2O plus electron, we get OH minus. And in the anodic part, we get Fe plus 2 electron. Okay, from iron, so in the anodic part, what happens? Iron becomes the positively charged, that is cation. It releases electron. And in the cathodic part, cathode, what happens? The oxygen and water combine together and OH minus ion is produced. Now these two ions, one we got OH minus, another is Fe plus 2. They combine together and we get FeOH whole 2, ferrous hydroxide. So in this way, the wet corrosion takes place. So in the wet corrosion, always we get two parts. One is cathode, another is anode. So a galvanic cell will be produced. And here you can see the different condition how iron will be corroded. First, that is the acidic media, that is the alkaline media, that is the neutral air media. So the reaction will be different. So here in presence of oxygen, the reaction is given. So what I told that ultimately we get OH minus and Fe plus 2. Then the final product will be FeOH whole 2. So this is also the examples, like it is pitting corrosion. I will discuss in the next part. So it is also the corrosion of iron, that is wet corrosion or electrochemical corrosion. So now, what are the difference between dry corrosion and wet corrosion? So let's check what we have learned. The number one, the corrosion occurs in absence of moisture. That is very common. Dry corrosion, that means it is dry, there is no moisture. But wet corrosion, the corrosion occurs in presence of conducting medium. Second, it involves direct attack of chemicals like chloride, oxygen, etc. will attack directly. But wet corrosion, it involves formation of electrochemical cells. Dry corrosion process is slow, but wet corrosion process is very rapid. Dry corrosion products are produced at the site of corrosion, but the wet corrosion occurs at the anode, but rust is deposited at the cathode. Okay, I will explain this part in the next part, in the wet corrosion part. Next lecture, you will be more clear. Just these are the basic differences of the wet corrosion and the dry corrosion. The process of corrosion is uniform for the dry corrosion, but the wet corrosion, it depends on the size of anodic part of the metal. So if I summarize what you have learned today, you have learned what is corrosion, why do metal corrode, and the lots of examples of the corrosion. And also you have learned the which materials are formed, which compounds are formed. That is why the metal get corroded. Like say for the silver, the material form, that is the compound form Ag2S. For the iron, it is Fe2O3.H2O. So you have learned that how the corrosion takes place. And you have learned the different types of corrosion, dry corrosion and wet corrosion, their differences, and what are the different types of dry corrosion and the mechanism of dry corrosion. Okay, so let's check few of the questions, how you can answer, how much you have learned. So first MCQ, that is, corrosion is a process of oxidation, reduction, electrolysis or ozonolysis. So what will be the answer? Anybody can guess what will be the answer? That is oxidation. In the wet theory of corrosion, dry cell is formed, galvanic cell is formed, concentration cell is formed. None of this. So it will be galvanic cell is formed. Which of the following causes corrosion of iron? Oxygen, hydrogen, strong base, moisture and oxygen. Moisture and oxygen both are required. Water is also required, oxygen is also required. Otherwise, the rusting of iron is not possible. Next question, the rusting of iron is catalyzed by zinc, iron, aluminium, acidic water. So here the answer will be acidic water. And you have seen in my text, in my lecture, that different situation in the acidic medium, in the alkaline medium, and in the neutral situation, what will be the reactions, all this part is given here. Okay, so the short question type, short answer type questions. What do you mean by corrosion? So it is very easy, and repeatedly I have discussed what is mean by corrosion. So this is the deterioration of the metal when it exposed to the environment. And why do metal corrode? So you have to discuss about the thermodynamic stability of the ore, of the pure metal, and next is the corroded metal. So always the metal try to be at the state of thermodynamically stable. Next, number 3, explain the rusting of iron with the electrochemical theory of corrosion. So I have shown with the figure, you have to give the figure and you can give it like say the cathodic part, which reaction will take place, and in the anodic part, which reaction will take place. So I can show you also once again, if you cannot remember, okay, this part. This will be ideal answer. Okay, so it is the rusting of iron, that is the electrochemical corrosion. And in the cathode part, OH minus is formed. In the anodic part, the Fe plus 2 is formed. After that, they combine. So in this way, you get the electrochemical corrosion. Number 4, differentiate between chemical corrosion and electrochemical corrosion. So that is also discussed, everybody can. So first it is the dry corrosion, wet corrosion. Let's have a look here. Okay, so this is in the, when you discuss anything, distinguish anything, you discuss, you write down in a tabular form. That will be better, like dry corrosion, wet corrosion. This is in the tabular form, then you discuss. Okay, so I hope you have understood today's lecture and you have enjoyed. If you have any doubt, then you can communicate with me. So for today, I am ending my session. Thank you, everyone.